The planet Sariznan glowed softly under its twin suns. The human colony sprawled across the gentle hills, sleek silver buildings reflecting the light in sharp, clean lines. Among these structures, the most fascinating for many newcomers was the Cultural Exchange Center. Here, humans and aliens learned from each other. Humans taught their sciences, art, and traditions, while aliens shared their unique ways of living and thinking. Lyra, a young alien from the Schiller species, hovered just outside the building. She had soft lavender skin, large expressive eyes that changed colors with emotion, and delicate limbs that moved in ways humans found graceful but unusual. Her people had customs of bonding that were very different from humans. Touch was rare, and emotions were usually expressed quietly. Through subtle color changes and gestures, Lyra's curiosity had brought her to this human colony. She had heard stories of human emotional closeness and their unusual ways of showing trust and affection. She wanted to understand them not just as an observer, but to feel them herself, inside. Humans and aliens walked together, talking and laughing. Lyra watched a small group of humans sitting together on soft mats, holding hands while their faces glowed with smiles. Their gestures were simple, yet Lyra could sense the deep connection they shared. She tilted her head, intrigued. Why did they touch each other like that? She asked herself. Her eyes flickered with a soft blue, a sign of curiosity in her species. A human stepped forward, noticing her. Captain Alex was tall, with kind eyes and a calm presence. He had been assigned as Lyra's guide. Lyra, are you ready to start your observations? He asked gently. We can go to the lab, or you can observe the humans here first. Lyra nodded. I want to see more. Their closeness. It is very different from my people's ways. I want to understand it. Alex smiled. Then let's take our time. Human bonds are more than just gestures. They involve trust, emotion, and careful communication. Lyra tilted her head. Trust, emotion. Yes, Alex replied. Human closeness, what they call mating or bonding, is about feeling safe and understood with another being. It is not just physical, it is emotional. Lyra's eyes widened. Emotional closeness was not common among her kind. They relied more on observation and subtle signals. The idea of opening oneself completely to another being felt strange yet fascinating. They walked together to a quiet observation room. Humans often used it to teach young aliens about their ways of forming bonds. Soft cushions lined the floor, and holographic panels displayed human behaviors. Lyra floated above the cushions, her eyes scanning the images and videos. Humans, laughing, holding hands, hugging, even sitting quietly together with smiles. It all felt new. Lyra, Alex said softly, you don't have to rush. You can observe first, then ask questions. Humans bond slowly, with patience and understanding. Lyra nodded. I want to try it, but I am unsure. Will my body respond the same way? Alex chuckled lightly. It might feel different. That's normal. What matters is your willingness to learn and to connect respectfully. For the next hour, Lyra watched humans in pairs and small groups. She noticed the way they communicated not only with words but with gentle touches, eye contact, and soft tones. The humans seemed to share something invisible, an energy that bound them together beyond the physical. Lyra's eyes flickered from blue to violet, showing her growing fascination. Lyra, are you ready to try a small human bonding exercise? Alex asked. Lyra hesitated. Her Schiller instincts warned her to be cautious, but her curiosity won. Yes, she said softly. Alex gestured to the cushions. Sit with me. We will start simply. First, just sit close and look into each other's eyes. No need to speak. Feel the presence of the other. Lyra floated down, crossing her legs, and focused on Alex. His eyes were calm, welcoming, patient. She felt a tiny flicker of warmth, an emotion she had not recognized before. It was pleasant, not uncomfortable, but new. You are doing fine, Alex said softly. Humans use eye contact to build trust. No rush. Feel the connection. Minutes passed. Lyra's large eyes studied Alex's carefully, noticing the way his expression remained steady. Slowly, her own feelings shifted. Curiosity became a gentle awareness of his presence, and awareness became a small bond. She could not explain it with words, but a sense of understanding passed between them. "Do humans always bond like this first?" Lyra asked. "Sometimes," Alex replied. "Some start with talking, some with touch, but always with trust and consent. Humans respect personal space." Lyra's color changed to soft green, indicating her growing comfort. "It feels strange, pleasant, different from my people." Alex nodded. "That is natural. Different species feel differently. What matters is respect and understanding." After a while, Alex extended his hand. "If you are ready, try holding my hand." Lyra's eyes flickered nervously. She had never touched another being in this way. Slowly, she extended her delicate fingers and touched Alex's hand. The sensation was gentle, warm, and surprisingly reassuring. Her color shifted to violet, showing fascination and a hint of excitement. "See? Small gestures can carry meaning," Alex said. "Humans share comfort and trust through touch. It is not forceful, and it is always consensual." Lyra nodded, absorbing the lesson. She tried a small squeeze, careful not to overdo it. Alex returned the gesture lightly. Her heart toward the part of her that served the same function fluttered. It was not fear. It was curiosity, perhaps the beginning of understanding a human way of closeness. They continued for a while, exchanging hand squeezes and gentle eye contact. Lyra learned to follow Alex's lead, matching the pace of interaction. She realized that human bonding was not about speed or intensity, it was about patience, trust, and shared presence. Finally, Lyra floated back, letting go. It is very different. I feel connected, but also cautious. My people would not understand."
Alex smiled.
"Different does not mean wrong. Learning new ways does not erase your own ways. It adds to your understanding." Lyra considered this. She wanted to share what she was learning with her friends back home, but part of her wondered if they could ever accept it. Still, the sense of connection she felt was undeniable. As the twin suns began to set, long shadows over the colony, Lyra and Alex walked outside. Humans and aliens mingled freely in the open air. The soft wind carried laughter and conversation. Lyra felt a tiny thrill of excitement. She had experienced her first step into human bonding. It was more than she had imagined. "I want to learn more," she said softly, her eyes flickering between blue and violet. Alex nodded. "We will go slowly. Tomorrow, we can try another step. Small, careful, and always respectful." Lyra smiled. A new world of emotions and experiences was opening before her. She did not yet understand everything, but she was ready to explore. As night fell on Ceresnan, Lyra floated near the observation dome, watching the stars and feeling something unfamiliar. Anticipation. She was eager, curious, and cautiously excited. The journey to understand human bonding had just begun, and she could already sense that her life and, perhaps, the lives of her species might never be the same again. Above her, the twin moons reflected light onto the silver buildings of the colony, and Lyra's eyes glimmered with colors she had never known: blue for curiosity, green for caution, violet for excitement. Tomorrow, she would take another step. Tonight, she would dream of understanding, of connection, and of a world where humans and aliens could share not just knowledge, but feelings? Lyra closed her eyes briefly, imagining the human gestures she had witnessed, the gentle touch, the shared gaze, the slow, quiet trust. It was strange, wonderful, and new, and she could not wait to see what came next. Little did she know, her next lesson would challenge her in ways more surprising than she could imagine and her human teacher. Captain Alex had plans to guide her carefully, every step of the way. For Lyra, curiosity had led her to this world, and now it had opened the door to experiences her people could hardly comprehend. She smiled softly. knowing that this was only the beginning of a journey that would test her emotions, her instincts, and her understanding of connection across species. And in the quiet night of Sursney, under twin suns and twin moons, Lyra began to imagine the possibilities: friendship, trust, and bonds that could transcend even the limits of her alien culture. The next morning, the sun rose over Suresnine with a gentle orange glow, spilling light across the human colony. Lyra floated near the Cultural Exchange Center, her lavender skin shimmering softly in the sunlight. Last night's experiences with Captain Alex had left her both curious and nervous. She felt a strange flutter of anticipation she had never experienced before. Today, she would try another step in learning human bonding. And her curiosity battled her caution. Captain Alex arrived at the observation dome with a calm smile. "Good morning, Lyra," he said. "Are you ready to continue?" Lyra nodded. Her eyes shifted from soft green to bright violeta, sign of excitement in her species. "Yes, I want to learn more. To understand humans better." Alex gestured toward the cushioned area in the center of the dome. "Today we will go further than yesterday. We will explore human emotional connection in a slightly deeper way, but still carefully. We will practice trust, communication, and safe gestures." Lyra hovered above the cushions, her limbs twitching slightly with nervous energy. "I am ready," she said softly. "But I am unsure what I should feel." Alex smiled. "That is normal. You may feel emotions you do not recognize, but that is part of learning. Humans often feel many things at once: curiosity, excitement, nervousness. Pay attention to your feelings and trust yourself." Lyra nodded. Her large eyes studied him carefully. "I will try." They sat across from each other as they had yesterday. Alex instructed, "First, let us start with simple gestures. Look into each other's eyes and maintain calm breathing. Humans share energy through stillness as well as touch." "Let's practice that." Lyra mirrored him, floating slightly closer. She studied his calm expression and tried to mimic his steady breathing. Her eyes flickered from blue to green, then violet, as she felt a small connection begin to grow. It was different from last night, a deeper, warmer awareness that came not from touch alone, but from being present with another being. "Good," Alex said softly. "Now, humans often use gentle touch to show trust. Let us begin with a small gesture. Place your hand on mine, slowly, when you feel comfortable." Lyra hesitated. Touch had always been rare for her species, but the warmth she had felt yesterday gave her courage. She extended a delicate lavender hand and lightly rested it on Alex's palm. "See?" he said with a small smile. "It is gentle. There is no rush. Humans bond slowly." Lyra experimented with small movements, mimicking what she had seen humans do. She squeezed his hand lightly, and Alex responded with a gentle squeeze in return. Her body reacted in ways she could not fully describe. Her senses were heightened, and a strange warmth spread through her core. She flickered in color from violet to a soft, glowing pink, which indicated fascination and surprise. "It feels strange, not uncomfortable, but new," she said quietly. Alex nodded. "That is normal. You are experiencing human closeness in a very safe way. Emotions often arrive unexpectedly. Humans learn to recognize them, name them, and share them." Lyra absorbed his words carefully. She realized that bonding was not simply physical. It involved awareness, patience, and careful attention to the other being's responses. She liked this. It was methodical, and yet it was deeply emotional. "Can you teach me more gestures?" she asked. Alex smiled. "Of course. Let us try the human gesture of comfort. Place your hand on the back of the other's hand or shoulder. It is a way of showing care and reassurance." Lyra floated closer and placed her hand gently on the back of Alex's hand. The warmth was subtle, but noticeable. Alex responded with a soft nod and steady gaze. The interaction was simple, yet it conveyed understanding and respect. Lyra's color shifted again, reflecting both excitement and concentration. "This is Fascinating, she whispered. Humans share trust through gestures like this. My people, we do not do this often, Alex nodded. Different species have different ways. Humans focus on trust and emotional sharing. That is why gestures are slow and intentional. Lyra considered this. She liked the idea of slow gestures. It gave her time to process and respond, instead of reacting instinctively as her species often did. Slowly, she began to sense the subtle exchange of feelings, the calm reassurance, the shared attention, the growing bond between two beings. After a while, Alex introduced another element, human voice. Humans often speak in soft tones to share comfort and emotion. You do not have to speak the words perfectly. Just express your feelings gently. Lyra hesitated. Vocalization was unusual for her species, but she wanted to try. She made a soft sound, melodic hum that mirrored her curiosity and tentative trust. Alex responded with a gentle hum of his own, a human way of acknowledging presence without words. Lyra's eyes widened. She had never realized that sound could carry emotion so clearly. The hums became a shared rhythm, each responding to the other's subtle changes in tone. Slowly, a sense of connection formed that went beyond gestures or observation. See, Alex said, humans use many methods to communicate trust and comfort. It is not only gestures. Your attention, presence, and even small sounds convey feelings. Lyra nodded, floating closer, her colors shifting through soft blues, greens, and violets. She felt her nervousness ease as she realized that she could participate in human bonding in her own way, without abandoning her alien nature. For the next hour, they practiced gently. Lyra learned to combine soft touch, steady eye contact, and subtle vocalizations. Each interaction brought new feelings, curiosity, excitement, trust, and even joy. Alex guided her carefully, never forcing, always responding to her cues. At one point, Lyra made a small mistake. She pressed her hand too firmly on Alex's palm. He immediately relaxed his hand and smiled. That is okay. Humans make small adjustments. The key is to notice and adapt. Lyra's colors shifted. Rapidly she felt embarrassed, but also amused. I did not mean to be too strong, she said softly. Alex chuckled lightly. It is fine. Bonding is about learning together. Mistakes help you understand each other better. Lyra's laughter, a delicate musical sound, echoed softly in the dome. She realized that learning human bonding could be fun as well as enlightening. The experience was not only emotional, but also playful, teaching her to relax and enjoy the moment. After practicing gestures and soft vocalizations, Alex suggested another step, the shared space exercise. Humans often sit or float close together, not necessarily touching, but in a way that shows comfort and trust in each other's presence. Lyra floated beside him, leaving a small distance between them. She observed the subtle signals of calm and reassurance, steady breathing, relaxed posture, and attentive eyes. Gradually, she allowed her curiosity to override caution and floated slightly closer, almost touching his shoulder. Good, Alex said softly. Humans share presence as much as gestures. Just being near someone you trust builds connection. Lyra's body responded in surprising ways. Her senses were heightened. She felt a warm, gentle awareness that was both strange and wonderful. She realized that human bonding was not a single action. It was a series of small steps, each building on trust, attention, and respect. By midday, Lyra felt a sense of accomplishment. She had experienced her first full session of human bonding. Eye contact, gentle touch, vocalizations, and shared presence. She had felt curiosity, nervousness, excitement, and trust all at once. I did not expect it to be so complete, Lyra said softly. It is not only physical, it is understanding, trust, and emotion combined. Alex nodded. That is the essence of human bonding. It is slow, careful, and respectful. The goal is not to rush, but to share feelings and build trust. Lyra smiled. I want to continue learning. I want to understand all the steps humans take. Alex returned her smile. And we will. Tomorrow, we can explore more, including how humans express deeper emotional connections safely and respectfully. Lyra's eyes shimmered with a mixture of colors, showing excitement, curiosity, and a growing sense of confidence. She had learned much today, not just about human bonding, but about herself. She realized that she could experience human closeness without losing her alien identity, as the sun set over Saris 9, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple. Lyra floated near the observation dome window. She reflected on the day's lessons. Small touches, careful gestures, soft vocalizations, and shared presence. Each had been a new experience, opening doors she had never imagined. Her mind wandered to her home planet, where bonding was quiet, subtle, and almost invisible. She wondered what her friends would think if she shared these human customs. Perhaps they would be curious, perhaps skeptical. But Lyra felt certain of one thing: understanding another species' way of connecting was a gift. As night fell, Lyra made a decision. She would continue learning, step by step, guided by trust and curiosity. She would explore human methods of bonding not for novelty, to understand and to connect. Captain Alex observed her quietly from across the room. He knew that the journey ahead would challenge her in unexpected ways, but he also saw her courage and determination. Lyra's willingness to learn and adapt was remarkable. And so, under the twin moons of Saris 9, a new chapter of Lyra's journey began. She had taken her first real steps into human bonding, discovering emotions, trust, and presence in ways that transcended her alien instincts. She was ready for the next lessons, ready to explore further, and ready to... The next morning on Saris 9, Lyra awoke with a sense of excitement that made her heart, or the part of her that served the same function, flutter in an unfamiliar way. Her large, expressive eyes reflected the soft morning light as she hovered near the observation dome. Yesterday's lessons with Captain Alex had opened a door she could not close. Today, she would take the next step in understanding human bonding. She felt ready. Captain Alex was already in the dome, arranging soft cushions in a semicircle. "Good morning, Lyra," he greeted, his voice calm and welcoming. "Are you ready for the next session?" Lyra nodded, her lavender skin flickering in gentle hues of violet and green, a sign of anticipation and curiosity. "Yes," she replied softly. "I want to understand humans more. Completely, if possible." Alex smiled. "We will take it slowly, step by step. Today, we focus on deeper connection, emotional presence, communication, and empathy." Lyra floated to a cushion, folding her limbs neatly beneath her. She watched Alex carefully, noticing the calm way he arranged the space. The human methods of bonding were becoming clearer to her. Each day, she learned not only gestures, but the meaning behind them, the trust, patience, and shared understanding that humans valued so highly. "Lyra," Alex began, "humans often build trust through shared experiences. Touch, eye contact, and voice are part of it, but understanding and listening are just as important. Today, we will practice expressing feelings and empathy safely." Lyra tilted her head. Empathy was not common in her species in the same way. Schiller communicated subtle emotions through color changes and gestures, but humans expressed feelings openly. Lyra found this strange, yet fascinating. "I am ready," she said softly. Alex guided her first through an exercise of emotional sharing. "Think of a feeling, something simple, like curiosity, joy, or trust. We will take turns sharing it using words, tone, and gentle gestures." Lyra hesitated. Words were not her usual method of expression. She had always relied on color shifts and small gestures. Still, she wanted to try. Slowly, she produced a soft sound, a musical tone that reflected her curiosity. Alex responded with a warm, calm tone of his own. The exchange was subtle at first. Lyra watched the way Alex's expression remained open and accepting, and she began to relax. Her colors shifted through soft blue, green, and violet. She felt the emotion she was expressing not only within herself, but mirrored back by Alex's presence. "This is different," Lyra whispered. "I feel it in me, and I feel it in you. Humans share emotions in ways I did not expect."
Alex nodded.
That is the essence of human bonding. Feeling and acknowledging each other's emotions creates trust and connection. "You are doing very well," encouraged. Lyra experimented further. She chose another feeling, gentle joy, and tried to express it with tone and posture. Alex responded with mirrored expressions, nods, and soft vocalizations. Slowly, Lyra realized that humans did not need elaborate gestures to communicate emotions. A simple tone, a look, or a small touch could convey understanding and care. After practicing emotional expression, Alex introduced another step: shared space with guided closeness. "Lyra," he said, "sometimes humans show trust by sitting or floating close to someone they respect and care for. It does not need to be physical touch, just presence, steady attention, and calm awareness." Lyra floated beside him, leaving a small distance at first. She observed his steady gaze and calm breathing. Gradually, she allowed herself to drift closer. The sensation was subtle, but profound. Just being near him, in quiet awareness, brought a sense of security and warmth she had never experienced with her species. "This is strange," she admitted. "I feel comfort in your presence, even without touch." Alex nodded. "That is normal. Humans value presence as much as gestures. Trust grows through awareness of another being. You are learning quickly." Lyra practiced this shared space exercise, noticing how her emotions shifted. Nervousness faded, replaced by curiosity, attentiveness, and a growing understanding of human ways. She realized that human bonding was not a single action, but a collection of experiences: eye contact, touch, voice, presence, and mutual awareness. Each piece contributed to a deeper connection. After a brief pause, Alex suggested another exercise: mutual support. Humans often show care by helping or comforting another being. This could be as simple as offering reassurance, guidance, or encouragement. "Let us practice this together." Lyra tilted her head, intrigued. "How do I do this?" Alex smiled. "Start by noticing my reactions. Respond gently. Small gestures and words of encouragement count." Lyra experimented carefully. She offered soft, melodic tones that conveyed calmness and attentiveness. Alex responded with nods, smiles, and gentle vocalizations. She noticed how each gesture, however small, built a stronger sense of understanding and trust between them. "This is remarkable," Lyra whispered. "A small action can mean so much. My people do not always show emotions so openly." Alex nodded. Humans share their inner feelings and appreciate acknowledgement. That is why gestures, tone, and presence are all meaningful. By midday, Lyra felt a growing sense of confidence. She had experienced more layers of human bonding: emotional sharing, presence, empathy, and supportive gestures. Each step revealed a new depth of connection. She realized that human bonding was not about physical closeness alone. It was about understanding, patience, and respect. As the twin suns reached their zenith, Lyra paused. "Captain Alex," she said softly, "I understand humans more than before, but I wonder, can my species ever accept this? Will my friends think it strange?" Alex considered her question. "Perhaps. Different species will have different reactions, but understanding is never wrong. You can learn human ways without losing your own. You are discovering new perspectives, not abandoning your culture." Lyra thought about this carefully. She liked the idea. Human bonding did not replace her Schiller. Ways it expanded her understanding. She could take what was valuable and incorporate it safely, respecting both cultures, in the afternoon. Alex guided Lyra through one final exercise for the day: the reflection and acknowledgement of feelings. Humans often conclude bonding exercises by reflecting on what they felt and acknowledging each other's presence. It helps to reinforce understanding and trust. Lyra closed her eyes, focusing inward. She felt curiosity, nervousness, excitement, and a deep sense of connection. Slowly, she expressed her thoughts through a soft, melodic tone and a gentle gesture toward Alex. He responded with a calm smile and a mirrored gesture. "It feels complete," Lyra whispered. "I feel I understand humans more. I feel connected." Alex nodded. "That is the goal. Human bonding is about mutual respect, awareness, and understanding. You are experiencing it beautifully." Lyra's colors shifted softly, blending violet, green, and a hint of warm pink. She felt a sense of accomplishment and wonder. She had explored human bonding safely, step by step, and discovered emotions and connections she had never known as the sun set over Saris 9, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple. Lyra floated near the observation dome window. She reflected on the day's lessons: emotional sharing, presence, supportive gestures, and acknowledgement. Each had contributed to a new understanding of trust, empathy, and connection. Her thoughts turned to her friends on her home planet. Perhaps one day she could share these lessons with them. Maybe they would be curious, maybe cautious, but Lyra knew that learning about humans had opened a door that could never be closed, Captain. Alex watched her quietly from across the room. He had guided her carefully, step by step, and he could see her growth. Lyra's willingness to explore, learn, and adapt was remarkable. She had taken her first real steps into human bonding, and she had done so with courage, curiosity, and respect. The colony around them was quiet now. But in the hearts of one alien girl and her human teacher, a spark had been lit. A spark that promised understanding, friendship, and connection across species, cultures, and worlds. Lyra's eyes flickered softly, her colors blending in gentle patterns that showed excitement, confidence, and wonder. She whispered to herself, "I understand humans now, more than I ever imagined. I can share this, and maybe one day help my people understand too." And as the twin moons rose over Saris 9, casting silver light across the silver buildings of the colony, Lyra smiled. She had learned not only about humans, but also about herself, her capacity for curiosity, empathy, and connection. The journey was not over. Tomorrow would bring new lessons, new experiences, and deeper understanding. But tonight, under the quiet glow of distant stars, Lyra felt complete. She had crossed the threshold into human ways of bonding, discovering trust, care, and respect that transcended species. And somewhere deep inside, she knew this journey would continue to shape her life and her understanding of the universe. She was ready for whatever came next.